This week on Supercars Torque, Shane VanGisbergen is voted the most popular driver, Will Davison catches himself a cold, James Courtney gets himself engaged, and we say goodbye to the Stadium Super Trucks. The big news this week, Will Davison wins the first race of the year and becomes the first Supercars driver to catch that virus that everyone's talking about. Apparently it's not good for the YouTube algorithm, so I won't mention it here, but that's the race he's won. As far as I know, he is the first one to catch it. Him and Rihanna both fell victim to it over the Christmas break, seem to be recovering well. The other big news this week, James Courtney's gone and got himself engaged for the second time. Glutton for punishment, maybe. Tegan Woodford is the lucky lady. Seems to be batting above his average. Well done there, James. The Stadium Super Trucks are going back home to America. I think there was 12 cars that have been here for a number of years now. It's been decided they're going to be shipped back to America because it looks like the new race consortium that has bought supercars basically doesn't want to pay the sanction fee for them. Supercars has been funding them to be on the support card. It looks like that the new owners don't want to continue that funding. It seems that it's very divided between the fans. It seems there's a lot of fans that are saying good riddance, who cares, it's wacky races kind of thing. And then the people who are going, well, I only go to a Supercars race because of the Stadium Super Trucks. I do find that very hard to believe. I liken it kind of to, I remember I went to Calder Park, it was 95 I think it was, for the Peterborough Classic. It was something that they put on at the end of the year where there was a few Supercars races. I think there might have been a couple of 2-litre races, there were some Oz cars, and there was Top Fuel cars. And I remember like watching the Top Fuel cars, they were spectacular to watch, but I wasn't going there for that. I was going there to watch the supercars. Everything else was a bonus. And I think that the Stadium Super Trucks have been that bit, like if you're there, if you're on TV, or like, you know, you sat there watching the TV and that, they're on, it's a little bit of a bonus thing to watch. I would be shocked if, you know, a real motorsport fan that was watching the supercars actually, you know, sat there and was, you know, cheering on Paul Morris or whoever was winning that championship. I can't even remember who you know, I think Matt Mingay was racing in there, Russell Ingall did some races, things like that. I know Matty Brabham's done quite well in them in America, but it's not, I don't think you were, you know, sat there with their competition cautions and things like that. I don't think you were sat on the edge of your seat going, oh, come on, cheering on the guy who was about to win the championship. The human headline, Peter Adderton, has come out swinging once again saying that these guys don't know what they've got till it's gone kind of thing. You know, you're going to miss these stadium trucks, blah, 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 blah. Yes, it's a good sideshow. It's, you know, it gets kids and stuff like that excited being at the races. I don't think it's going to really make a big difference in that, you know, okay, your kids might have got excited being there watching them at the racetrack, but I think Dad's going to drag the kids along to the racetrack anyway. I don't think it's going to make a massive difference in attendances, and in general, a real race fan would prefer to see something like TCM or S5000 or something like that running around. Let's not get carried away with the Super Utes, though they are getting better. But I think, you know, your genuine race fan is going to prefer to see something like that at the racetrack rather than, you know, kind of the clown cars bouncing around. Shane VanGisbergen has been voted the most popular driver and fans are losing their mind over it. How can the championship winner be the most popular driver? I hate him, you know, kind of. Yeah, obviously you get a bit of that jumping on the bandwagon kind of thing, and of course people gravitate to success at times as well. So I suppose as well you got a lot of people that were fans of Whincup that are kind of moving over as changing the guard, kind of things like that. But it wasn't the one-sided affair that you might think it was. Just a quick look at the results. About 20% of the vote actually went to no driver in particular. So I assume these are people who are voting for, you know, or they just follow a particular team, or they're just a Holden fan or whatever, or maybe they're an Opel fan, because it seems there's a lot of commenters on there that seem these are Opals, and anyway, that's an argument for another day. Shane had 16.5% of the vote. Chaz was the second most popular on 10.7. Whincup and Anton were very close. Anton 8.6% and Whincup 8.4%. Gary Jacobson obviously didn't get enough family members to vote because he came in last at 0.09%. Jack Smith beat him out on 0.11%. So that is 0.02% more. A little bit surprising. Maybe the Smith family is a bit bigger, but interesting to see Chaz being number 2 favourite driver there. I would have thought Jamie would have been a bit closer to Shane and in second position. The last little thing to cover off today, the human headline, Mr. Adderton. That's twice he's got a mention this week from me, so he's obviously doing a really good job for his Boost brand, but he's come out and said he wants to buy 2 racing entitlements contracts, or whatever they're called now. I'll continue calling them Rex because that's what we all know and understand. He's come out and said he wants to buy 2. There's the one that's available that Supercars has on hand, and then he just pulled another one from thin air. A couple of little things here. Why didn't he buy Team Sydney when he had the chance? Maybe why not sponsoring 888 when he had the chance, and Vodafone looks like they've swept in there. Sometimes you need to pick up the phone and, you know, make a phone call, put in a, you know, proper offer rather than trying to pick up crumbs along the way. Anyway, I don't understand why they're locked on this 26. I know years and years ago, Tony Cochran was always, he wanted to get to 28. That was the magic number. I think it had something to do with getting the show across New Zealand. All fair enough then. If that's where the 28 came from, let's lock in 28 cars. I'm all for more cars in the series though. Couple other questions. Is this just a headline, or is he genuinely serious about this? If he is genuinely serious, is he looking at setting up a full new shop, or is he, say, looking at running a 3rd and 4th Erebus car kind of deal there? Because I wouldn't want to see Erebus drop backwards because they haven't got the sponsorship because of, you know, him going and setting up his own team. It would be quite good if they could maybe expand that team, you know, possibly even maybe Pete comes in, gets the 3rd license, the MSR license that they wouldn't sell, and then runs it as a 3rd Erebus car and maybe sponsors one of the other cars there or something like that. That's kind of the way I would prefer to see it happening, rather than him going out and trying to set up his own thing and kind of draining resources from other teams. Because I think as the whole Premier Racing, Peter Zabiris thing, I think they're going to find it is hard to start poaching people just from the get-go, especially when you've got like Walkinshaws and the Groves have been kind of, you know, taking some people from around the place, and you've also, you know, Triple Eight have pinched Andrew Edwards from BJR. It seems, you know, there's been a bit of moving and shaking, and it will be hard to try and get those top line engineers that you're going to need to set something like that up in the future. So that covers off the news for this week. You might have noticed on the channel, I've got a little join button down there somewhere. I have set up a little thing. A few people have said about kind of, you know, sponsoring the show and things like that. This is probably the easiest way because it just comes through the YouTube money. They do take their cut, but, you know, we can't really work around these things. So if you do want to support the show, it's down there. The money will be going back into, you know, getting better equipment, especially trying to upgrade this computer and things like that, because that is something that is really lacking at the moment. Any support, there is some little bonuses there if you do join up. So, you know, if you're that way inclined, I do not need the money, but it would be nice to help out. Yeah, that's down there. And a few people have been asking, how is the puppy dog going? He, unfortunately, the hip did come out again. Not sure when it happened, but it did happen at some point. He did have to go in for surgery. A fake ligament has been put in there for now. He's got a fairly long road to recovery, but he is getting better with every day. So fingers crossed it all holds in there, which it seems to be at the moment. But yeah, he's... we've been rather locked down recently, so it's been a very long Christmas New Year period not being able to go anywhere, but thankfully he is still with us, so it's a good outcome overall. So on that note, until next time, I'm still Dave, and I'll catch you later. No driver in particular. Dennis, can you please be quiet? Like that. Shane had 16.5% of the vote. Chaz was the second. Can't wait till I get my own room.